All right, people. We have Young Yeah. Yeah. Talking about Xbox killed Halo Infinite live service just 4 years into the 10-year plan. Yeah. It's Microsoft. They not doing no damn 10-year. They ain't doing no goddamn 10-year mother trucker. All I know is that they fucked up on Infinite. And I think I know what Young is gonna talk about. But let's get
Arguably
to
one of
it.
the biggest red flags for a live service. When a company says we plan to make this live service journey something that will last for 10 years and beyond before they've even
Bungie.
launched it, before they've even established year one. To me, that says you're just trying to sprint before you've even crawled.
Right.
And that's what's happened with Halo Infinite. But it's also happened with other titles. This is
Also, yeah, because you doing this, like, if you say this, like, we got a 10-year plan and there's you have like no proof history of that beforehand, yeah, that's not gonna work.
a tale that is very familiar at this stage.
I can see like what's it called it? World of Warcraft saying some stuff like that, because look how long it's been on that thing been online. But yeah, for the most part,
Destiny 1 once upon a time said that they're going to make a 10-year long journey.
Yep.
That didn't last.
That's
They
what I was
had
just
to
talking about.
straight up just make a sequel, Destiny 2. And even that hasn't really fully reached 10 years. And now it's at a phase where it is struggling. And then among the most infamous cases was EA and BioWare's Anthem, when they said that this was the start of a 10-year journey. And they said that before they even launched the game. And we know
I don't think they lasted the year. I think they lasted
how that ended. Incredibly unceremoniously. The launch was so disastrous that it was never really able to come back from that. Anthem Next, the overhaul of the game, was ultimately canceled by EA. And, on January of 2026, this game will go offline, as in it's not just the dead live service, but it's a dead game that you'll no longer be able to access. And it's starting to feel like Halo Infinite is headed in that direction, especially with the most recent announcement. So this right here is Halo Waypoint's blog post titled Operation Infinite Update Preview. And right here we have the announcement that with multiple Halo titles in development, we'll need our whole team's combined focus to deliver new experiences with the same passion and care that our community has given us. While we remain committed to supporting Halo Infinite on the road ahead, Operation Infinite is the last major content update currently planned. This basically signifies the end of Halo Infinite as a live service. The Halo Infinite live service is,
they could have had so much better stuff,
officially dead. The game will still be accessible, it'll still be playable in the same way Anthem was after it stopped getting new content. But what's supporting it is just this exoskeleton crew that is maintaining the basics of this experience.
I think the community is also was holding it up for the most part.
A live service, which is the constant new content rollout amidst the thriving community, that part is very much just dead. And it's a sad and unceremonious demise for Halo Infinite indeed. And you can especially see this in the player numbers. It peaked at over 272,000 players, which is a really good start, but you can see the very quick plummet as the game's content offering and its progression systems and
it went from 6K to 8 to
and its various elements ultimately
12,
failed to live up to what fans wanted out of a multiplayer Halo experience, and it eventually just couldn't come back. It eventually.
God damn. All right.
The player base on Steam, the concurrent players got into the
that's not like the super final.
Was yet another live service that
Xbox
advertised itself as being a 10-year long journey or a 10-year long plan.
The outcome is still the same.
Reports here with this update that basically marks Halo Infinite officially ending major updates just 4 years into its 10-year plan. And you have to understand that the ambition with Halo Infinite was for this to be the main Halo game, the main Halo hub and portal for a decade.
Which is the stupidest thing they did was you put out the campaign, you put out the multiplayer. You split the two, and then what you do? You don't add nothing to the story. You don't change nothing. You bare bones the story pretty much, really, because there was no co-op at the beginning. You implement that, right? the split screen stuff, right? And it was just like, what are y'all doing? You go to the multiplayer, and there was like literally barely any, what you call it? I don't know if there was a big team at the time. I think it might have been, but it was like nothing. It was like, I don't think it was 2v2. It was like barely anything you can do on there. And yeah, the community stuff was not there either. So they had to do that. I'm trying to think, did they have theater mode at the time? They might have had a theater at the beginning. They might. Not too sure though. But yeah, you could not tell me you could have had so much stuff with that. You literally had a campaign that you could have just made a BR in the campaign and put players in there and, and maybe forge it up. Have people play Forge and mix match and put that in, and bam, there you go, BR. Nah, we don't want to make money.
We don't want to keep.
We don't want to make money.
The idea was for Halo 343 to be the ultimate
Halo Studios
to kind of be a long-lasting experience. This is what Halo Studios, or back then 343 Industries, said back in July.
I would have got rid of all the people from 343.
Halo Infinite is the start of our platform for the future. We want Infinite to grow over time versus going to those
you don't want it to grow.
And all that segmentation that we had before. It's really about creating Halo Infinite as the start of the next 10 years of Halo, and then building that as we go.
Yeah, as soon as you see we want Infinite to grow over time. One of you says we want, nope. And you're a corporation saying that, mother trucker. No, you don't want nothing. We want to see that in action. As gamers, I know I want to see it. I don't want to hear you talk about, you want to do this for the game. We want to do it now. Show me.
With our fans,
show me that work, damn it.
Back at that now, I mean, it's very clear that they were overly ambitious and maybe even a little arrogant.
No,
but 10 years is an incredibly long time. And
see right there, you messed up right there, young. You think they got ambition? No, they haven't shown it. They haven't shown it in 3, 4. And now Infinite, they haven't shown it. They showed maybe like few game modes here and there, Warzone, this mode right here and there, but they didn't expand on that. They took it out the damn game and took another stuff out the game. And then when you release Halo Infinite bare bones, you're like, what the hell? You could have just copied, attached that, and add more. Nope. Like I said, you give them the benefit of the doubt too much.
There's a very minuscule amount of games who have successfully managed to support their games for 10 years.
Like prime example, didn't like God of War, when God of War came out, when it first came out, and then people start complaining about them using the same assets from that game to the next game. What they do, they add more stuff from the first game to the second game, right? And people like that too. But yeah. There's people using the same assets, yeah, but they was adding more stuff to it, so they kind of, nullified the experience a little bit. It's like, okay, like literally like Gears of War, from 1 Gears to Gears 2, you could see the difference, but it played similar, but yeah, they kept kind of expanding weapons and new weapons and stuff like that, but Halo kept the same shit.
And consistently output content where it's allowed the live service to thrive. 10 years is such a long time to look that far ahead without focusing on just the first couple of years. Hell, just ensuring the launch is as perfect and as content-full and as fleshed out.
They did terrible on that too.
They didn't even seem comfortable with how the launch of Halo Infinite was going to go, and they were talking about the next 10 years. I mean, that already was a huge red flag for me, and I'm not, frankly, too surprised at how all of this played out.
There you go.
The gaming community has not forgotten about, back.
Yeah, I don't call it a red flag. I call it a stupidity. I call it stupid. That's not even a red flag. Red flag, I'm like, oh, you kind of showing me. No, they just say some stupid shit to me. That sounds stupid to me.
343 Industries and now Halo Studios' commitment to a 10-year plan for Halo, or saying Halo Infinite would be the start of the next 10 years for Halo, with poorly.
How the hell you don't bring Driftball like right in the beginning of it? That thing is so easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's like a Team Slayer match. You didn't put none of that in. Action sack, none of that shit in. Oh God, so terrible. Could have kept Castle Wars, and they kept taking it off and on. You know, taking it out. Oh, this isn't supposed to be in here. This is supposed to be it. Oh, people like Castle Wars. Let's get rid of that for this week. Oh, that's supposed to come in the summer. Oh, keep it in the summer. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that. Why y'all keep getting rid of shit? This is not the old 2000s, games, People want the same fucking map or play the same goddamn map they like playing from the last 10 years. Why you getting rid of shit, or you want to get rid of it for a limited time? Because you ain't, it's not finished or something, or it's going to be fun, but it's not fully the way you want it, or you want to try it, But people like this from the old game, and you want to take it away from the new game, but it was already fun to begin with, and you take it away, and then people are like, I don't know what to play now. That was my favorite genre. Griffball was my favorite thing. Now they took it off. Now what? Now you lost your player, but you lost half of the players that you wanted back into playing it, so they can play other games now. You're screwed. You're screwing yourself.
After the announcement that Operation Infinite would be,
that's like Fortnite getting rid of they BR and going back to save the world. You're like, what the hell? What? Y'all did all this extra shit and all this Unreal stuff for the game. What the happened? Why y'all going back to save the world for? Like, nah, we just going to get rid of all this shit now. Like, what? You wasted all that time just to go back to that? People will have a fit. Gamers will have a damn fit about that.
Last major update for Halo Infinite, having posted this headline, and I mean, this is something that went viral because it is rather poorly aged. The thing about using this 10-year plan, 10-year journey, 10-year commitment,
just
for
fancy words
or for a game,
fancy words for marketing campaign, for studios and companies to say.
They promise that if you buy this game, you'll get a ton of value out of it. Before you even know if it's possible, you're telling people this is the ambition that we're gonna achieve. And then when you fall short of that, of course, people are going to point that out. So in posts announcing that Halo Studios just killed Halo Infinite's live service, essentially, with Operation Infinite.
They killed it. They killed Halo Infinite Operation when they first came out bare bones. That's when they did it.
Didn't age well. And people, I think, have every right to call that out, because that is a big part of the marketing of a game that tries to incentivize people to spend money on their product, having good faith.
Look at it. Look at Arc Raiders, like prime example of that. Look how that came out. That's what I'm saying. Look how that came out.
Faith in their ability to deliver on a 10-year journey, but those seldom tend to really pan out. And so you're marketing your game off of a false promise when you say we're going to deliver 10 years, and then you don't deliver 10 years because you weren't able to nail the launch of the first couple years even. And with Halo Infinite in particular, I mean, eventually, of course, this news made the rounds on Reddit, the Halo subreddit here. There are plenty of folks who are even surprised that Halo Infinite lasted this long, given how rough its pre-launch, launch, and post-launch developments were. So right here, the top comment reads, honestly, I'm surprised it lasted so long. I thought for sure once they stopped doing full battle passes in favor of mini operations that the game would peter out soon after that. Kind of crazy they managed to put out any new gameplay content with a skeleton crew. Yeah, I mean, what team was left for Halo Infinite? They did a lot of caring. They did their best, but ultimately through a combination of myriad missteps and a lack of content and Halo Infinite ultimately shipping feature incomplete, it was just not an experience that could retain.
Yeah, once you put it incomplete, you put an incomplete game out. Is first impressions are usually everything with gamers. First impressions every time. That goes with anybody really, but mostly gamers too. Because when the game comes out, people, what was it? Baldur's Gate 3, prime example again. That game came out, and people flocked to that goddamn game like it was fucking clockwork. And people like, oh, nobody would like a damn turn-based game. Game of the year. Game of the year. Barely any bugs. Yeah, almost damn near perfection when it came out. Expedition 33, barely any bugs. Damn near no bugs at all for a lot of people. Yeah, people looking at to be the game of the year now this year. Show what other competition, but yeah, first impressions usually are everything. And and feature incomplete is that's stupid for any
players for the long
company
term,
to do.
as they were competing live services that were far more compelling of an experience for players to invest much of their daily time on.
Yeah, you just get the title of like looking like a Ubisoft or EA game, pretty much. Yeah, this dude. I knew he was gonna talk about it. I know he's gonna talk about it. I knew it.
Like skepticism, it was rife with like something's not quite right here. With his gameplay reveal featuring the now infamous Craig, not drawing the wholly positive impression that Xbox and Microsoft were expecting. This gameplay demo and the feedback surrounding it was ultimately what led people for calling for a delay for the game. And that is actually exactly what ended up happening with this announcement on August of 2020. Microsoft delays Halo Infinite to 2021, which did give them time to polish the content that they were planning to ship, and it was a polished launch. The multiplayer component did successfully launch on November of 2021, and the campaign came shortly after on December of 2021. You can see right here, looking at Metacritic, that generally there was favorable critical and user reception during the launch experience. But this is a live service, and for a live service to be able to maintain engagement and interest, it has to nail its content release, it has to nail its feature set, it has to nail its progression, it has to nail the cadence, consistency, and quality, and
it has to what would they say? Evolve.
density of content released throughout the course of this live service life cycle. And that's where Halo Infinite woefully failed, on top of the launch itself just lacking some of the core features that fans
when you put out two different stuff, like, oh, you're gonna do multiplayer and then we're gonna do campaign the next week or month or whatever the hell you do, and it's not coming out at the same time. No.
Associate Halo with. I mean, when it came to the core progression system of the multiplayer, the challenge system was something that was heavily panned by fans, because what challenges did over the traditional experience point system was that it encouraged players to play for themselves. It encouraged them to check off the bucket list of things in the challenge system, rather than cohesively play as a team and just have fun that way, because the challenge system forced them to, use specific weapons, use specific actions that forced players to go off on their own and do those things so that they could meet the requirements of the challenge system, because that was the only way to progress the game and get the rewards and get the cosmetics and go through the battle pass and you name it. And so that made for multiplayer matches that were just not fun to play, because everyone was off doing their own thing instead of, coming together to be like, what's best for us as a team to win. And then the monetization system of Halo Infinite was criticized for being just absolutely absurd and just really greedy. I mean, not only did the battle pass offer content that, past Halo games like Halo Reach offered for free as you naturally progress through the game.
There it is. Yep. There it is.
Win element.
I forgot about that. That's real bad. That is real bad. That's scummy as hell. That is super scummy. You get the content for free in the previous game, and then the next game is blocked by a paywall. Yikes. Yikes.
With purchasable XP boosts. There was just level skips that basically discourage you from playing the game, just skipped the progression. And that's kind of what time savers are as far as microtransactions are concerned. It's either they make the game really insufferable for you so that you're incentivized to spend money on the game and its progression, or you just skip through the entire progression, and so you feel no sense of like, I earned this by playing the game and by just engaging with the title and doing really well, and
you don't feel your progression being respected, or you don't feel like you're experiencing anything better. You're just playing.
Really kind of basking in your victories. There's the fact that there was just not a lot of stuff that you could earn in game, combined with the fact that the cost of cosmetics were just ridiculously priced for what they were offering. I mean, some of the skins were just color swaps, and those were going for amounts of money that did not justify that kind of purchase. And then on top of that, there came a point where Halo Infinite's like content updates and releases just really dried out. Ultimately, what keeps people coming back to a live service that's meant to last 10 years is a consistent cadence and release of high quality content. And Halo Infinite would go months at a time without new compelling content. And so people just got bored of the game.
It can't be a month. Nope. Gotta be a week, 2 weeks tops, every 2 weeks or something. Can't be a damn month or 3 months or 4 or 6 months. Nope. No delays. You fucked up. You don't have it by then. You screwed your company.
Leaving. Not to mention reports of just how much content was cut.
Like a prime example, you just look at those Koreans and the new people that be making these gacha games. They be just updating freaking every damn, I don't know, freaking day or so. Sometimes it feel like. If it ain't a week, it's a damn. If it's like 2 updates, bam, bam, bam. Oh, download this. Oh, what? Are we maintenance? Or are we going back down? Oh, we're coming back again. Another update. Another damn update. It just keeps going. It just keeps fixing it. Oh, it's a campaign. Oh, we're gonna play this. Make sure you play this battle pass for like maybe about 3 months. But we also updating other stuff in between the damn battle pass. So you keep seeing something new or you see something you like. Yes, it's you keep seeing progression in the game. It's not, you just gotta wait 3 more months until the next thing happen. Nope, you're seeing it
throughout the course of Halo Infinite's development, with the gamer here summarizing some of what was leaked as, Halo Infinite stuck to its 10-year plan. The game would have had multiple multiplayer modes as well as yearly campaign updates, which we definitely did not get.
Yeah.
Among the planned additions was about,
like I said, they took away the damn feature stuff. It's just like, do you like this Castle Wars? Let me get rid of it. Oh, it's a fun game where people like playing. People loading up, and it just works. And you don't have no wait time. You wait maybe about 5 seconds, sometimes to a minute. You're in the damn game, and yeah, it's fun.
Royale mode, which was
let's take it away.
Big thing at the time, trend chasing maybe, but it would have been some kind of additional content, along with a campaign update centered on Atriox. Campaign updates would have been what many folks would have looked forward to, and that was an area where Halo Infinite completely dropped the ball. On top of its campaign not launching with features that make the campaign highly replayable, like in past Halo entries. So, for example,
like I said,
split screen multiplayer. It is such a central aspect to Halo. Halo Infinite did not ship with this feature, but what made it especially painful is that when people dug through Halo Infinite, they found that the split screen mode for the campaign was in fact in development, and there are ways to dig it out and actually engage with it, and it works
my
for the most part. And so there's a timeline where they could finish the split screen feature, but it's never been officially supported. It's not something that ever made official release. And that part just really sucked, combined with the fact that Halo Infinite's campaign did not launch with even online co-op. It took months for them to implement this feature that is such a core aspect of the Halo campaign experience that makes it so...
That's right. A core, like I said, if you have your stuff from the previous game and it's blocked behind a paywall or it's not there at the beginning, you screwed yourself. You literally screwed yourself out of money, and people going to talk about what you did. It's like somebody having, I don't know, you buying candy from a store and then they don't have what the favorite candy that makes the damn store so damn special. And what happened to the meal? What happened to the food there? And they don't have it. Oh yeah, we don't make that no more. What you mean? Yeah, we gotta wait a couple of more months till we get it back in business. Like, bitch.
Replayable, and that keeps people coming back. By the time the online co-op feature
lost the customer
did launch, people had already moved on. It was too little, too late. And that's on top of the lack of campaign updates that would have brought people back. It all just coalesced.
And that's the one thing these companies don't realize, that once you put out your game half-ass bones, there's going to be another company that makes a game fully completed that people want to play. Even if it's gacha or from a different country, no matter what, Black Wukong or whatever, they gonna make you play that instead.
Perfect storm of this being a live service that was doomed to fail. Now, the one thing that could have saved Halo Infinite was its Forge mode, which allowed for user-created content. And folks got really creative with that, and they put out some really great stuff that kept Halo Infinite, kind of on live support for a while. But even that's an area where Microsoft and Xbox failed to support. That's an area where 343 Industries and Halo Studios failed to foster. So right here we have an article from just a couple months ago, June of 2025, from Windows Central, reporting how Halo Infinite just lost its best Forge creators over lack of support. And this is all
of course they use lack of support because the company's not doing nothing. Just wasting progression.
explained in this tweet right here by the Forge Falcons, considered to be among the best, if not the best, Forge creators. They announced right here that they're going to release one last Halo Infinite Forge creation, and then after that, they're just going to move on to Fortnite or something. And they talk right here about how none of us ever started making things in the hopes we
that's actually a good move.
compensated and have never expected it, and to our knowledge, not a single
use that Unreal Engine.
But to see your work used in promotional material for a game, plastered all over in-game and featured in matchmaking, to not receive even a simple sincere thank you or anything, to make us feel appreciated beyond marketing events for the game, it's just an odd feeling. Microsoft and Xbox and Halo Studios, it almost feels like they took advantage of the forging community rather than encourage them by
we want you to make this stuff and we're going to use your stuff, but we ain't going to thank you at all. We'll give you the tools, we'll give you the access for it, and we will promote it to our game like we did it. But you did mostly all the work for us.
Supporting them in some way, shape, or form, even just saying thank you, you know? And it says right here, so many amazing forgers have just given up working on Halo Infinite because of the lack of support. And it is honestly just such a shame, some even for the same reasons we are stating here. They talk about how one-sided the relationship between forgers and the developers of Halo Studios has felt. And to Halo Studios, they said this: to Halo Studios, forgers deserve better and they deserve to be rewarded for their immense contributions to this franchise. It's saddening these conversations are still happening in 2025. Please do better. And so when you've lost
it's stuck in the past,
the folks that were fostering the user creations, that was so much of the draw of Halo Infinite.
When I saw them take away game modes and features that people like playing, and they try to combine them and we're gonna put this inside this feature and we're gonna have this inside this other one, it's not gonna work.
With everything else at Halo,
all that stuff was just straight terrible, you know. It's literally just terrible. You just taking away features and we're going to put this in this game mode. Nobody wanted it at. Nobody asked for that, but y'all going to do it y'all way. And the community got one like, I'm going to screw that up. They took it away. I'm going to play a different game. Oh, that's something in the shop. Well, too bad. I'm not playing that game now. They took away my favorite game mode. And that's how you lose your players. You keep messing it up. That was made by somebody, a community. Oh, I took it that way. Oh, never mind. I'm done playing the game, and then that's how it will go.
Infinite is lacking, and
with that small stuff
that they made.
Yep.
I mean, there was just nothing left to come back to with Halo Infinite. Yeah. When there were so many other live services out there.
Exactly. They competing with other live services.
We're much further along, much more feature complete, and we're just more fun to play, and felt just much more worth your time investment.
Just like, that's why you have like the Hulu, but what was the main one? Netflix. And what were they try to do? People like try to expand from Hulu to Red, Max, all that stuff. But people keep going back to, Netflix, Some people like that better than whatever, but hey.
Because that's what live services are.
Looking for the best one.
Time investments. And this is all on top of technical issues with Forge, like safe corruption. And this user talks about how that made it incredibly hard to forge.
You compete with other live service. Once you come out bare bones and half-ass, you're going to look stupid.
How Forge being online only is always
not a red flag. You look stupid as hell.
As much fur and attention as it should have, and how that ultimately ended up being a huge detriment with all the technical issues that Forge suffered. And then there's a good point that somebody makes here, that the fact that Halo Infinite was barely surviving, and the only reason it was barely surviving was because of Forge and essentially user created mods. The fact that it was the community keeping Halo Infinite alive and the development side of things just wasn't contributing enough to help maintain Halo Infinite.
That's what I'm saying. When the community is taking up most of your work and you're not even helping them, or you're not supporting that in any form or fashion, and you just trying to just take what they made and just copy it into your game mode, but you ain't doing nothing to to help them even make it even better or support the creators. Bare bones Halo Studios. Or 343, I should say.
Such a one-sided relationship. This user said Halo should not survive solely on Forge and modded content, in my opinion. Their work is great, but having it be
like, how you gonna, like, prime example is this: you put what was it? Lock, right? Halo Lock, the Uni, all these 4 other new characters in the game. And then the next game, they're not even there. They're not even there. They don't exist. It's back to Master Chief. You just not going to expand? You know, you're not going to expand nothing. You're just going yep, back to Master Chief now. Bruh. You know, you ain't gonna pull a Noble 6 or nothing, you know, you just going back to Chief, dog. You know, you just make a whole new brand new character team and everything, blue team, you know, uni team, all that. And those characters that just don't exist no more after that. They're just gone. Armor gone. They ain't started at the beginning. Nothing. No custom. No nothing. Yeah. Terrible.
The pillar to hold up the longevity of Infinite.
Like if I make a Halo game, and even if I do back like what they doing right now with making Combat Evolve, I will put everything that was in my previous game into that game. Just straightforward, just to have stuff. Even what is it? Hayabusa armor. I put that in Halo 1 or some shit too. I would do all that just to have it, you know?
At their job, and I do agree with the sentiment.
And then just add on to it.
Things, you know, throughout the course of Halo Infinite's life cycle, we've seen massive layoffs happen at Microsoft to the point where it did affect Xbox studios like 343 Industries, you know, or Halo Studios now. And, you know, back in 2023, we have articles talking about ex-developers calling out Microsoft for mismanaging Halo Infinite. Folks like Patrick Wren saying the layoffs at 343 shouldn't have happened and Halo Infinite should be in a better state. The reason for both of those things is incompetent leadership up top during Halo Infinite development, causing massive stress on those working hard to make Halo the best it can be. This was Patrick Wren, the multiplayer designer.
Yeah, but again, that wouldn't happen if the games came out feature completed instead of half-ass. So that was kind of on them.
434
to begin with.
And then we have Tyler Owens here, studio operations, saying how Microsoft's business practices and policies slowly is killing the thing that I love. Set
that's exactly what it is.
Much more. It's pretty scathing stuff from developers who are sick and tired of the way Halo is being treated. And then we have this Bloomberg article talking about how Halo went from disaster to triumph. Mainly talking about the triumph launch, as this article was released.
You launch it bare bones and fucked up.
But the post-launch of Halo Infinite did ultimately end up killing the live service. But prior to the launch, the fact that it launched at all is a miracle because the development cycle of the game was so disastrous and mismanaged. And here's like a bullet point summary on Reddit. But basically, 343 was utilizing inadequate dev tools despite having 6 years to improve the tools and engine. Teams within 343 often failed to find a unified vision for the game, which hindered progress. The game
that's the main thing right there. That second line, that one right there. Development tools despite having 6 years to improve the tools and engine. That's what messed this whole genre, this whole game up right there. You spent 6 years and you didn't improve on shit, in my opinion. Straight up. I love Halo. And yeah, you screwed up big time. A unified vision. See, that right there is also stupid right there in itself. Team within 343 often fail to find a unified vision. Take what was from Halo 2 and 3 and expand it. That's what you need to take. Take from Halo 2 and 3, expand that combat system. That's all you have to do. And whatever those armors were, do that and add more. And then like you did pieces with Infinite, I like, which was different pieces on the arm and stuff, like for your legs and belt and all that shit. That was good, right? But other than shit like that, what the hell? You took away everything else. Add shit. That's all I gotta say. add shit, add more shit.
Cut. Designers were told to come into work and do nothing while the studio tried to sort out the future of the game. And approximately 50% of the dev team were contract workers on 18-month rotations, with Microsoft and Xbox's overusage of contract workers having been something that's been reported on and called out, and it having long-term ramifications. Right. Having seen this happen multiple times where developers confidently announce a 10-year plan when year one is already looking kind of shoddy. Right. And when the game hasn't even launched yet, to be able to prove that it's even able to maintain itself for the first 5 years, I mean, it's just a cautionary tale and a big red flag. Anytime I see talks of a 10-year journey for anything that isn't released and that hasn't proven itself yet, and that hasn't set itself up.
Yeah, that's the key word right there. Hasn't proven itself yet. And 343 hasn't proven itself when the last 3 games people was complaining about, including me. They didn't really prove himself. They was doing minor changes here and there, but it was like you still doing like past shooting genre, and you got Battlefield and Call of Duty still around, and you still trying to be this floaty looking game and trying to still stay stuck in that past. Yikes!
Up to be able to engage in that kind of endeavor, 10 years is so much time. Any game that can even do 5 years, that's already like a high mark to reach. But 10 years, there's just no way to know what will happen 10 years from now. So focus on the moment to moment.
You got 10 years trying to do a 10-year plan, a shooting game, and you got this other fighting or other shooting game that comes out every other year called Call of Duty, and they just keep putting out game after game after game, and you got a 10-year shooting game, and you not doing nothing different. You're not adding nothing, no new guns, nothing. You ain't doing that.
On delivering now. But yeah, with all said and done, this is the current state of Halo Infinite. It is dead. It died 4 years into its 10-year plan. What we can look forward to
I died the first year for me, really.
Halo 1's campaign and whatever else.
I kept going back and forth with that.
A Halo multiplayer game that is reportedly being worked on. I hope they learn from their mistakes, but
I think this probably was one of the first or second Halos. I'm trying to think. Was it 4? I think. No, I'll play a little bit of 4 consistently. I think this was one of the main ones that I haven't played Halo consistent at all. I think I played the campaign for the most part, and I finished that on Legendvry. I beat that, and after that, I was like, yeah, the multiplayer was shit. Yep, because it was so bare bones at that time when I completed the story. And I was like, yeah. I think something in the story was messed up too, and I couldn't play that. I was like, oh, this thing is broken here. And I couldn't do nothing. And I had to, I don't know what happened. I think it was something, like it was a glitch or something. People was losing their save file or some shit like that. So I was like, oh, nope, I'm not playing that. Whatever they did, I was not going to play that and get my file corrupted, and I had to play everything all back from the beginning on Legendary. Hell no. Hell to the no. But yeah, I think that would maybe stop playing too.
To revive Halo as a franchise instead of adding kindle to the fire with endeavors that move into the future has me a little concerned. It's just a little sad to see where Halo is at right now. It is such an icon of Xbox and of gaming in general. And
I will say the good decision they did was going to a different engine. I'll give them that part. But other than that, yeah, no.
To see it kind of start petering out and for it to become kind of less relevant over the years because of the mishandling surrounding it just sucks. And so hopefully learnings have been had and they can come back strong with future entries. But given the recent history of Halo, that's not something that I'm holding my breath for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It will be something that I'll keep my fingers crossed for. But that's one man's take, and that's what you need to know about the current state of Halo Infinite and the state of Halo in general. I'd love to hear what your thoughts and opinions are on all of this. Do you think there is a bright future ahead for Halo? What do you think Halo needs to do to come back?
I already said it.
Or do you think Halo is destined to peter out and continue its downwards trajectory? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on YongYea. I'll see you guys next time.
There you go. Young out.
YongYea.
There it is. So yeah, man. This thing I said when they was doing that 6 years span for the what was it, the dev team thing, oh my goodness, yeah, this, when people saw this, oh my goodness, and then you see the Unreal stuff beforehand. Hell, freaking Injustice 2, you know, and you see this. You go for, like, if you look at the Injustice game, Justice 2, and then you see this, you're like, what the hell happened? Because you see, Grodd, where, here we go. See, we have a Grodd right here on Injustice, the first. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about for the most part, is that this game is 4 years before Halo Infinite. And yeah, these graphics versus that, even though it was supposedly a beta, but you showing this off, and yeah, it does not work. It does not work for people. So you gotta watch out for this stuff, man. So yeah, when they talk about Halo, if Halo be back, will be when Halo put all the things people like about it, which was multiplayer, campaign, and just having fun with your friends and doing silly stuff. And you take all those Castle Wars, Griffball, and Infection away every damn time. No, that's you doing the wrong thing. Those game modes have to be a staple or beginning in the game. It has to be there at the beginning. You can't take away game modes or features. Once you put them in, they gotta stay in. You know? Can't just take away assassinations and be like, oh yeah, that was only for a limited time. Nah, it don't work that way. It does not work that way. Oh, he's gonna take away this gun people are using. No, you nerf the damn gun for the most part. That's what some game developers would do. Some other good games will try to find a balance, you know. So, but yeah. Oh my goodness, man. It was just so terrible. The launch of the game was just so terrible. It really was. But hopefully they learned their lesson. We're in a brand new Halo series with Halo 1 be coming back with an Unreal Engine, and we can just add and keep adding on Halo Combat Evolve, you know, and keeping improving the game shooting mechanics from there. So we'll see. We shall see fully. But there you have it, people. Legendvry is out, and yeah, Young, do your thing. I still won't call it red flag though. Call it stupidity is the reality. Yep. But hopefully Halo series can get on the damn ball and stop doing this dev stuff behind the scenes, screwing up their work. But yeah, just fix it. Like Halo 2 and 3, that's the sweet spot for Halo. And I ain't talking about like it needs to be in that game mode. It needs to be better, improved, faster, quicker, snappier, all that shit. Yeah.